Today, we're diving into a timeless piece of automotive history, the 1964 GT-LM. This car, often recognized for its iconic design and engineering, represents a fascinating chapter in Ford's racing legacy. Although it wasn't as widely known as the GT40 that came later, the 1964 GT-LM still holds a special place for car enthusiasts and racing historians. Let's explore what made this model so unique and influential. In the early 1960s, the landscape of car racing was dominated by European automakers. Ferrari, in particular, had established itself as a powerhouse in endurance racing, consistently winning at events like the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Ford, however, had its eyes set on disrupting that dominance. They wanted a car that could compete head-to-head with the best in the world, and thus began a journey to build a race car that would bring Ford's name into the spotlight. The Ford GT-LM, while not the exact model that would ultimately dethrone Ferrari, was an essential step in that direction. It was part of the learning curve that allowed Ford engineers and designers to understand what it took to compete on the global racing stage. The design of the Ford GT-LM was revolutionary for its time, incorporating aerodynamic principles and a lightweight construction that would set the foundation for Ford's future success when it comes to design. The 1964 GT-LM didn't follow the typical American muscle car trend. Instead of focusing solely on raw power, it emphasized balance, agility, and speed. This was achieved through a streamlined body that cut through the air more efficiently. The car's low-slung profile and sleek lines were inspired by European sports cars, yet it maintained a uniquely American flair. The aerodynamic design not only made it faster, but also helped with stability at high speeds, a crucial factor in endurance racing. Under the hood, the Ford GT-LM was equipped with a powerful engine that was groundbreaking for its time. Ford experimented with various engine configurations to find the perfect balance between power and reliability. These early models laid the groundwork for the powerful V8s that would later be used in the GT40 series. The goal was to create an engine that could endure the grueling demands of a 24-hour race without sacrificing speed. While the 1960 model may not have reached the same level of fame as the later GT40, it provided valuable insights into the engineering challenges Ford would need to overcome. One of the unique aspects of the 1964 GT-LM was its suspension system. Unlike many of the other American cars of its time, which focused on straight-line speed, the GT-LM was designed with cornering and handling in mind. Suspension allowed the car to navigate tight turns with precision, giving it an edge on winding tracks. This emphasis on handling over pure horsepower was relatively new in the American automotive industry, and showed Ford's commitment to competing with European cars on their terms. The interior of the Ford GT-LM was a blend of functionality and style. Since it was built for racing, the interior was stripped down to the essentials. Every element was designed with performance in mind, from the lightweight materials to the placement of gauges and controls. Despite its minimalism, the GT-LM's interior still managed to exude a sense of sophistication. The seats were positioned low to give the driver a better feel of the road, enhancing control and stability. It's interesting to note how even small details, like the positioning of the pedals and steering wheel, were meticulously planned to optimize the driving experience. In terms of performance, the Ford GT-LM set new standards for American sports cars of its time. Its acceleration was impressive, allowing it to keep pace with some of the top European racers. The car's speed was matched by its agility, making it one of the most well-rounded race cars of its era. Although the 1960 GT-LM didn't secure as many wins as Ford might have hoped, it served as a crucial prototype for future models. The lessons learned from this car directly contributed to the development of the GT40, which would go on to dominate Le Mans. As we look back on the 1964 GT-LM today, it's easy to see how it has influenced modern performance cars. Its emphasis on aerodynamics, balance, and handling paved the way for the high-performance vehicles we see from Ford today. The GT-LM may not have been the final version that brought Ford glory at Le Mans, but it represents the spirit of innovation and determination that has defined Ford's approach to racing dedication. Ford's racing team consists of 9 independent specialized salesmen, gripe setters, and designers, and competing Ford's Motor Company. Many of these models are now preserved in museums or private collections, where they are treated as symbols of an era when Ford was beginning to make its mark on the racing world. Restoring and maintaining a car like this is no easy task, but it's worth it for those who want to keep this legacy alive. The influence of the Ford GT-LM can still be seen in Ford's racing programs today. Ford's dedication to building competitive race cars didn't end in the 1960s. Models like the Ford GT, which competed at Le Mans again in recent years, are direct descendants of the early GT models. The legacy of the 1960 GT-LM lives on in these modern supercars, reminding us of the bold ambition that Ford brought to the racing world decades ago. For those who appreciate classic cars, the Ford GT-LM is a reminder of a time when American automakers were beginning to step out of their comfort zone, challenging the best in the world on their own turf. This car may not have achieved legendary status in its own right, but it set in motion a series of events that would lead to Ford's eventual triumph at Le Mans. It's a piece of history that car enthusiasts hold dear, not just for what it was, but for what it represented, the beginning of an American legacy in international racing. Today, owning or even seeing a 1964 GT-LM is a rare treat. It stands as a testament to Ford's commitment to pushing the boundaries and a reminder of the brand's impact on the world of motorsports. This car isn't just a vehicle, it's a symbol of perseverance, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of victory. As we wrap up, think about the legacy of the 1964 GT-LM and how it contributed to one of the most famous rivalries in automotive history. Ford's determination to challenge Ferrari didn't start with the GT40. It began here with cars like the GT-LM that paved the way. Whether you're a racing fan or a car enthusiast, the Ford GT-LM is an inspiring reminder of what can be achieved when innovation meets ambition.